What is going on, guys? Brewer here, back again with another video, and I promise you guys this video will probably provide a lot of value to your life, but it might be a tough watch because this is very tedious stuff. But I've discovered something over the last few weeks that I wanted to share because I think it's an absolute game changer, and I've been in e-commerce for a long time, like 9 years now, and I've never seen any, basically unlock like this that's going to make so much possible and save people so much money. So what this is basically using Claude to code custom sections, blocks, and features into your Shopify store, basically removing the need for any sort of theme functionality, any sort of apps. Like most Shopify apps literally just utilize inserting code into the theme code. Like very few of them actually use proprietary technology that you need the app for. So I've been, quietly using this to build landing pages, replace different apps that I was paying for, especially usage, like those apps can add up a lot. Understanding this, you're going to be able to basically take anything that is in your mind and put it on a Shopify page. And for these examples, I'm going to be taking elements straight off of somebody else's website that I like, and I'm going to be putting them on my website. So if you look at Marsmen, these guys have been doing really, really well, but they have these really cool, sections and blocks on their website. And we can take any of these and have Claude recreate them for our brand and then insert them into Shopify. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to do that. So there's really only three things you need here. You need your Shopify theme with a page pulled up. And then you're gonna go here and click edit code once you're on online store. And then we're gonna go over to Claude. And you can see that I've already prefaced that I'm coding a Shopify block. So it doesn't really need any extra information. I'm basically just gonna tell it what I want, and then it's gonna make the code, and then I'm gonna show you how to download that code and then copy it and paste it into Shopify and make sure that it's all functioning correctly. So the first thing I'm gonna do is go to, let's just say this, your free gifts thing. There's many apps out there that do this. There's also Shopify sections, but let's just say that you wanted it. You could also do this little triple bullet point thing. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna screenshot this and I'm gonna drag it into Claude. And I'm also going to go inspect element, and this is gonna allow me to view what it looks like on mobile, and it looks like it looks the same. So, but if it does change, like a lot of these will look different. Like for example, this section, it'll be 3 on top of each other, and then here it's like horizontal, so it switches from horizontal to vertical. So make sure you give it both screenshots, and I'm basically just going to give it my website domain so that I can go get some context on our product, and just say I want the liquid code. I'll type the prompt and come back. All right, so giving it a really, really basic prompt. So for the Shopify blocks, you're literally just gonna do all of the modifications in the code, or give it to Claude directly, and then it's just gonna give you code, and it's literally just visual functionality. So we're not gonna actually create a section where we can modify things very easily. I'll show you how to do that in the next segment of this video, but for now we're just going to create like something simple, something visual, something that doesn't really have any function to it. It's just there, and it doesn't need to be modified that much. But even if you need to modify it later, I'll show you how to do that as well in the code. So these are some of the points that I would highly recommend adding. So if it's something that's strictly visual, I would definitely tell Claude that, so that it doesn't try to make you do more complex code than you have to. Use no dashes or M dashes. Create a preview liquid artifact as well, so I can make iterations here. This is really, really OP because whenever you're creating these elements, instead of having to download the code, upload it to Shopify, see that it didn't do something right, and then go all the way back here, we're just gonna be able to modify and iterate what we coded inside of Claude, which is really, really helpful. And this is another important thing. For photos on Shopify and code, it's just gonna use a Shopify photo URL. So I just said put photo link 1 here, and then link 2 and link 3 and link 4. So that's going to make it really, really easy for us to just upload the photo links to the code and then get the final section looking great. And then I just put in some other notes like our colors and making it the background transparent. And then because this is not a section, this is just a block, it's just a visual thing, I'm giving it what the gifts actually are and what the compare at prices are. and then I'll put the images in later. But in the next segment, I'll show you how to actually create this like a real Shopify section that you can modify inside of the Shopify theme editor much easier, which is much better for things that have real functionality to them. And again, if you're confused through this process, because I know we're messing with code and stuff, you can literally just ask Claude what to do. And if you get too confused and you're too deep, you can always just restart in a new chat window or whatever, and try to understand it a little bit better next time. Okay, so we got back this. You can see that it sent me one preview HTML and then one liquid. So this is the one that you're actually going to want to download and put the code in. And then this one, if you just click it, it'll show you a preview. And you can see that it is a far stretch away from what I gave it. So all I'm going to do now, because I want it to look basically exactly like this, is I'm going to basically just iterate it inside of Claude until it gets it right, and I'll come back when it's looking similar enough to where I'm happy with it. Okay, very good. So it basically created the preview of exactly what I'm looking for, which is perfect. You can see now it actually looks like what it should. And literally all I did was re-give it the screenshot and just say, follow my reference a little bit closer, please, daddy. And yeah, it's done. So all we need to do now is put the picture codes in there, and then I'll show you how to plop it into your actual theme. So we're gonna go ahead and click download right here. All right, now that went straight into our downloads folder. So what we're gonna do now is right click it, open with text edit. This is if you're on a Mac. If you're on a Windows, you might have to use notes or something, some way when you can just open the code inside of a terminal like this. And then here we can modify it, or we can modify it inside of Shopify, whatever you prefer. And there should be a link 1. So yeah, here we go, photo link 1 here. This is why I add this note, because it makes it so much easier. So I'm gonna drag this out of the way right now, and we'll come back to it. So all you're gonna do is go to content, files, upload your photos, and we're just gonna click copy link. So once that's copied, we're gonna go back to the code, and where it says photo link 1 here, I'm gonna paste that. Okay, so now that that's pasted right there, I'm gonna do the same thing for link 2. So we can see it right there, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I put the links in. We only have 3 photos. So you can do this for videos too, by the way, if you have any elements. It's the same thing. You just upload the video and then get the URL. And it's very, very easy to put it in. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna come over here to add section, and we're just gonna search up custom liquid. And it's literally this simple. You're just gonna paste all of that code right here, and then boom, we'll see it pop in. And then if we switch to mobile, boom. The good thing about blocks is if you're on an actual product page, you can put blocks in the product information. So let me show you that real quick. Okay, yeah, so Shopify has some limitations where if it's a section, you might have a problem putting this, above the add to cart button, for example. So this will just allow for like full customizability, where you can go custom liquid and do the same thing. We'll paste this right here. And we can see that Marsman has this kind of right below the add to cart button, but it's in the product information section. Like, it's not below it or above it. So this would actually have to be a block. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to this section and drag it right below the buy buttons. And boom, we can see it right here now on our website, looking pretty much exactly like it does on Marsman. And yeah, that's how you can make like pretty much anything from any website show up in the product information section. And again, this is strictly for visual items. But again, no more buying Shopify custom liquids, no more searching for themes that have these capabilities. Very, very easy to just take a screenshot, copy it for your own store, put the code in, modify the photos. Very, very easy to do. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is something a little bit more complex, but we're gonna actually create a Shopify section where we can modify everything in that little section. And it's gonna actually use functionality inside of the theme. So this is for things that normally you would need an app to do, like any specific app that deals with like adding products to cart or sorting, using customer tags or tags inside of collections. This is just for more complex stuff that is more than just a visual snippet of code that you just put in a custom liquid block. And this is actually going to allow you to modify the section inside of Shopify, which is really, really cool as well. And I like to use this for things that I'm split testing, or if I'm constantly changing it, if it's a key part of the copy on the website. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna modify, or we're gonna take this this little headline here, this sub headline, this trust badge right here, which when it's clicked, you can see that it has a little pop-up. And then I'm gonna also have this button right here be an add to cart button. So right now it scrolls up to the top, but you can see they have no variants or anything like that. So I'm gonna make it so that when they push this button, it actually adds the product to their cart. Okay, so basically it's gonna be a fully functional and fully modifiable section inside of Shopify that actually functions with Shopify's in direct functions that are built in. And again, there's no way, unless it's a buy button in the product information, that you can have this button add something to cart, except it is possible, and I'm about to show you how. Okay, so because this is a lot more complex of a task, obviously the prompt is a lot longer, but I'll break down what I'm telling it. So again, I'm basically saying that I'm uploading references. Hopefully it follows them this time. I need a Shopify section coded that I can put into my sections and snippets that uses actual functions. The top part is visual, but the button, I want to actually add the product on the page to my cart. The Shopify section also must be fully customizable inside of the Shopify theme editor. Every piece of text and icon need to be modifiable, including the text in the pop-up. The top row, so basically I'm just breaking down what each section is. So again, to show you, it's kind of like this sliding header here, a sub-headline, and then this button that opens up a pop-up with an image, or you could do a PDF, you can make it whatever you want. I'm just gonna do an image to keep it easy. And then this button right here is going to be an actual add to cart button. So I broke all that down, and then I said I expect different files for each piece of code, along with an installation file that tells me exactly how to install it step by step. I wanna modify as little code as possible, and you need to be very specific with what I need to do. Okay, what do you need from me to make this all possible? Whenever you're doing more complicated stuff, you should just ask, what does it need from you? Because it might need certain parts of your theme code to communicate with Shopify's functionality to add the product to the cart. For example, I'm also gonna add another note here that says, I want to modify the product it adds to cart inside of the theme editor. Inside of the theme editor. So that way it'll limit the amount of communication that I have to do. If I'm able to just choose the product that I want that button to add to cart, it should be a lot easier, but let's go ahead and see what it cooks up. Okay, so it took a lot longer than I expected it to because I did the same exact thing on a different Claude account. It was much easier, but now because we're using functionality, we're gonna have to actually modify things in the theme code, and we're gonna add a section that we can actually put on any page and make modifications inside of the Shopify theme editor. So literally all you have to do now, I already showed you the prompt that I put in to get this, but you just have to follow the instructions. So here's the installation document, and then there's all this other snippets of code. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna tell me exactly what to do with the code, and I'm gonna go do that. I'm just gonna follow it step by step. And then we'll see the design once it's on the website, and we'll see the functionality, and if any other modifications need to be made, or if anything is broken or doesn't work, all we have to do is come back here and tell it, and it'll fix it, and then we can just do the process over again until we get exactly what we want. Oh yeah, another quick note, if you're gonna do any coding in the theme or anything that messes with functionality, 100% duplicate your theme before making any modifications, just in case you fuck anything up or lose track. Then you can always go back and undo or just delete the copy, like you're not messing with your main store. Okay, so whenever you're moving in the code, you might get these errors. So it's very easy, just screenshot it, send it to Claude, and it'll tell you what to do. So whenever you have it fix an error, it'll send you a new file with the new code. So this is the new one up here, it says 1. So just to keep this clean, I'll just delete the original one. Highly recommend doing this so that we have all of our project files right here. Constantly updated, just keeps it clean and easy moving forward. If you have to go back and restart, you're not sorting through a bunch of files to find the most recent one. Okay, so I followed all the steps and we got to the point where we can actually add the section. So it created an actual section here, and you can see that there's actual benefits listed under. This is for the scrolling headline that's on the top. And you can see that all the sections are actually modifiable inside of Shopify, which is absurd. So this is like the cool way to do it, like the more functional way. But as you can see, the visual is completely messed up. So I'm just gonna go back to Claude, post a screenshot. I've dealt with this before. It should be an easy fix, But again, whenever something breaks or if it's not working as you would expect it to, just show it what the problem is, and then tell me what is broken and give me step-by-step on how to fix it. So let me fix that and I'll be right back. All right, so just like that, about 2 minutes later, it sent me the fixed version. So you can see that I pasted the code in, and then I just added the section. Now if I just search up benefits, I can add as many of these as I want. And the cool thing about this is, like, we just took this whole section right here and we added custom function to it. And we also have the sliding headlines, we have the text, we have the button with the pop-up, and we have the add to cart button. So the only thing left to do from here is to test the functions, make sure that it all works, and then from there we can modify the way that it looks. You can see that in the theme it doesn't really fit the branding of our website, but the good thing about doing it this way, even though it's a little bit harder and you have to modify more code, is literally everything is customizable inside of the theme editor. So once it's there, and you don't have to touch code again. That's the beautiful part about this method as opposed to the last one, everything is strictly visual, and if you want to modify the photos or the text or anything like that, you have to do it inside of the code. Whereas this one, I can modify this text as much as I want if I wanted to keep iterating and changing things on it. So all I'm going to do now is preview this page, make sure that everything is functional and it works. And then if anything isn't functional, I'll just go back to Claude and I'll come here with the finished product. All right, so now we are on the live page in the preview, and this is just a dummy product, but just to show you an example. So everything is fully modifiable, every icon, every piece of text, all the colors of everything. I made these this light blue. So you can modify literally everything. The pop-up is fully functional. So when I click that, it opens up the image and I can change this image to be whatever I want. And when I click this button, it'll actually add the product to the cart. Now, if you wanted it to open the cart drawer or bring you straight to checkout, all you'd have to do is tell it and it'll give you the code to make it possible. So with these methods, you can literally do anything you want. There's no limitations. I mean, I'm sure that there's some limitations if you're trying to do some crazy shit, but basically you can think of something and turn it into a reality, and it's honestly easier than ever. Like I remember just a year ago, I was sitting there scrolling through apps and scrolling through section stores, trying to find the section for exactly what I need. And now you can just create whatever you want and build the most diabolical funnel pages ever. And it's easier and cheaper and quicker than ever, which is just amazing. So I know that this video was long and tedious, but I hope that you were able to get some value out of this. If you were, definitely leave a comment. Let me know if you want me to talk more about anything in this video. I think that this pretty much covers everything I wanted to get forward in this video, and hopefully it's as valuable to you as it is to us, because we are building some amazing pages over here, fully customizing everything, getting rid of apps, like saving a ton of overheads on softwares. So the capabilities are endless. If you love this video, share it with a friend, leave a comment, subscribe, like, all the goodness. This is Noah Brewer, and I'm out. Peace.